Good morning, one and all. Today we are going to discuss about salivary glands and liver because already we discussed the pancreas in the previous class itself. Already I provided the material to you. Follow that. If you have any doubts, ask me. So today we will going to discuss about salivary glands. Salivary glands which secrete saliva and which moist the food and helpful for mastication as well as mild digestion. Actually, saliva is a mixture of mucus and serous fluid. Salivary glands are minor salivary glands are so many in number, but coming to the major salivary glands, these are divided into three salivary glands. It is parotid, submandibular, and sublingual glands. See the exact location here. Parotid gland, submandibular, and sublingual. Parotid glands is the largest gland, largest salivary gland, which is present on either side of the mouth. These are two in number. Each one present on either side of the mouth, that is the exact location is on the lateral side of the mouth in front of the ears. See, on the lateral side of the mouth in front of the ears, the exact location of parotid glands which secretes their secretions into the mouth. And submandibular, which is present at the lateral side of the cheeks, nothing but which is present in the mouth exactly. And next sublingual gland, which is present under the tongue, These are the three glands which secrete their secretions into the mouth, which will helpful for moistening the food and helpful for mastication process, as well as the mild digestion will be takes place by the secretion of salivary amylase. Actually, saliva consists of mucus as well as serous fluids. As along with these, salivary amylase will be secreted, which is an enzyme which will helpful for the digestion of carbohydrates, which the initiation will be starting in the mouth itself. And next we are going to discuss about the composition of saliva. So generally we know that coming to the composition of saliva, 99.95% it is water and remaining 0.5% it is solids. In the solids, again the organic substances as well as inorganic substances will be there. In the solids, first we discuss about organic substances, which contains enzymes as well as other organic substances. Enzymes, like it consisting of enzymes like salivary amylase, kallikrein, carbonic anhydrase. See, enzymes like amylase, maltase, lingual lipase, lysozyme, phosphatase, carbonic anhydrase, and kallikrein. Amylase, which will helpful for the mild digestion of carbohydrates in the mouth itself. Maltase as well, lingual lipase, which will secretes these secretions into the stomach, where the actual digestion of the lipids will be takes place. Lysozyme, it is an antimicrobial enzyme. Antimicrobial means which kills all the microbes. And phosphatase and carbonic anhydrase as well as kallikrein. Kallikrein is an enzyme which will helpful for the coagulation process, nothing but in the blood clotting it will be helpful. And other organic substances like proteins like mucin and albumin, blood group antigen, free amino acids, non-protein nitrogenous substances like urea, uric acid, creatinine, xanthine, and hypoxanthine. See here. And next, inorganic substances like sodium, calcium, potassium, bicarbonate, bromide, chlorine, fluoride, phosphate. All these are the ions, along with the gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen. This is about the composition of saliva. So you have to remember two main things here. One is the composition of saliva, and other one is what is the importance of each enzyme in the function of digestion. And next, main things you have to remember that salivary amylase is an enzyme which will help for the digestion of carbohydrates in the mouth itself. The initiation of the carbohydrate digestion will be takes place in the mouth. And lingual lipase, where it doesn't show action in the mouth, but once it secretes these secretions into the stomach, where the actual digestion of the lipids will be takes place. Is it clear? Next we are going to discuss about the liver. So liver is the largest gland in the body. And coming to the location, actually it is located under the diaphragm. It is a roughly triangular portion or triangular organ. It is a roughly triangular organ which is located under the diaphragm and more towards the right side of the body. It overlies and almostly covers the stomach. See, it overlies and almost covers the stomach. And next, liver consisting of four lobes, actually right and left lobe as well as caudate and quadrate lobe. Right and left lobes are the large lobes. Caudate and quadrate lobes are the small lobes, and these four lobes are suspended from the diaphragm with a and abdominal wall by a delicate mesenteric cord called as falciform ligament. Falciform ligament, the main function is to suspend the four lobes of the liver from the diaphragm as well as from the abdominal wall. And coming to the function, it will helpful for the production of bile. Actually, bile means it is a yellow to green watery solution which containing bile salts, bile pigments, cholesterol, phospholipid, and a variety of electrolytes. See, bile salts. What is the main function of bile salts? It emulsifies the fats. How it helpful for the emulsification of fats means by breaking down of larger fat molecules into the smaller ones. And next, coming to the in detail structure of the anatomy of the liver. Already we said that liver is a roughly triangular organ that extends from abdominal cavity. Most of the liver mass is located towards the right side. See, in the diagram only you can observe that towards the right side of the body, where it descends inferiorly towards the right kidney. Where it descends inferiorly towards the right kidney. Liver, actually it is made up of soft pinkish brown tissue which is soft pinkish brown tissue which is encapsulated by a connective tissue capsule, which consisting of four lobes, that is right lobe, left lobe, as well as caudate lobe and quadrate lobe. So right and left lobe are the largest lobes which are separated by the falciparum ligament. Right and left lobes are the largest lobes which separated by the falciparum ligament. See here, it is in this only we can give everything here. See, it is the green color which represents the gallbladder, and one of the main function of the liver, it can helpful for the purification of blood in that is by the hepatoportal vein. It will be going that we will discuss clearly about that. Is it clear regarding the structure? Next we are going to discuss about the other things on the of the liver. Coming to the blood vessels in the liver, which consisting of hepatic portal vein system. Already you know that four types of circulations are blood circulations are there. That one is systemic circulation, coronary circulation, as well as pulmonary circulation, and other one is portal circulation. So portal circulation nothing but which involves the liver for the purification of the blood. So here the blood supply of the liver is actually unique. Why? Because among all organs of the body, due to the hepatic portal vein system, here we are having a separate system called as hepatic portal vein system. Why? Because blood whatever it is traveling to organs like spleen, stomach, pancreas, gallbladder, and intestine passes through capillaries in these organs and collected in the hepatic portal vein. Whatever blood will be traveled to the spleen, stomach, intestine, pancreas, and gallbladder, from all these the blood will be returned to the hepatic portal vein through the blood capillaries. So the hepatic portal vein then delivers this blood to the tissue of the liver, where the contents of the blood are divided into smaller vessels and processed before being passed on to the rest of the body. Nothing but when whatever the blood will be collected by the hepatic portal vein, that will be reached to the liver before it reaching to the other parts of the body for the purification. So blood leaving the tissues of the liver collects into the hepatic veins that lead to the vena cava, a return to the heart. So the liver also has its own system of simply the understanding here, the liver has its own system of arteries and arterioles that provide oxygenated blood to its tissues just like any other organ. Means itself it can purify its blood, because liver is having its own system of arteries and arterioles that provide oxygenated blood to its tissues. Okay, and next coming to the physiology of lobules. Lobules means the internal structure. Here coming to the internal structure, the internal structure of the liver is made up of around 1 lakh small hexagonal function units known as, which were known as lobules. Each lobule consisting of a central vein surrounded by a 6 hepatic portal veins and 6 hepatic arteries. Nothing but the internal structure of the liver consisting of more than 1 lakh hexagonal units that we are calling as lobules. Each lobule consisting of a central vein which is surrounded by 6 hepatic portal veins and 6 hepatic arteries. These blood vessels are connected by many capillary like tubules called sinusoids. Whatever these hepatic portal vein and arteries are there, all these are joined together to and form a capillary like tube called sinusoids. How it look like means it meets the central vein like spokes on a wheel. What I said, each lobule consisting of central vein. The central vein consisting of 6 portal veins, hepatic portal veins and 6 hepatic arteries. All these are looks like in, see here, central, it is a lobule for example. In the each lobule consisting of central vein, vein. This central vein we are having 6 hepatic portal veins and 6 hepatic arteries, nothing but which looks like a spokes on a wheel. So each sinusoid passes through liver tissue containing 2 main cell types called as Kupffer cells and hepatocytes. Liver cells mainly 2 cells, Kupffer cells and hepatocytes. Kupffer cells is nothing but it is a type of macrophages. What is the function of macrophages? Which engulf the large size bacteria. So here also it can engulf the worn out red blood cells. Worn out means dead or old. Old blood cells will be engulfed by these Kupffer cells. And hepatocytes, these are the cuboidal epithelial cells. Hepatocytes perform most of the liver functions, that is metabolism, storage, digestion and bile production etc. will be takes place by these hepatocytes. Next, coming to the actual physiology of the liver. The first function of the liver, physiology means functions. First function of the liver is digestion, that is production of bile. Actually bile plays a major role in digestion of fats by the emulsification. Here how it will be happens, once see here. When the food containing fat reaches the duodenum, the cells of the duodenum release the hormone called cholecystokinin, which stimulates the gallbladder to release the bile. Why it stimulates the gallbladder means whatever the liver secretes the bile, that will be stored in the gallbladder. So whenever the fat containing food reaches the intestine, mainly the duodenum part, it stimulates the cholecystokinin to further stimulate the gallbladder to release the bile. So bile travels through the bile duct and it is released to the duodenum, where it emulsifies the large masses of the fat. So whatever bile will be released by the bile duct, that released to the duodenum, which emulsifies the large masses of the fat. And next, along with the other digestion function, it is also having metabolism function. And in the same way, in the metabolism function, the liver mainly hepatocytes metabolize hemoglobin into heme plus globin. Globin, as well as coming to the other metabolism, the absorption and release of glucose by the hepatocytes helps to maintain homeostasis. Everyone knows that the glucose metabolism takes place in the liver. Whatever glucose you are taken in the food, with the help of insulin, it will be converting into glycogen that will be stored in the liver. Whatever whenever necessary in the fasting condition, the glycogen with the help of glucagon, it will be glucagon hormone, it will be converting into glucose. So mainly the absorption and the release of the glucose will be takes place by the hepatocytes to maintain the homeostasis, otherwise it leads to diabetes. Okay, and next it will also help in the process of gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis means synthesis of glucose from non-carbohydrate sources to like lipids and proteins to glucose. Nothing but it synthesize the glucose molecules from the non-carbohydrate sources. That is known as gluconeogenesis. And next, other function. Two functions already we discussed. One is digestion and the other one is metabolism, and the next function is detoxification. Detoxification, already you know it from the 10th class itself. Detoxification means removal of toxic materials means which the liver which monitors the blood and remove many potentially toxic substances before they can reach the rest of the body, mainly the substances like drugs and alcohols. Whatever active metabolites will be reached to the liver, that will be converting into inactive metabolites, the inactive metabolites of alcohol and drugs, that will be removed from the body through feces or urine. And next, storage. Liver provides storage of many essential things like nutrients, vitamins and minerals obtained from blood passing through the hepatic portal system. It is storage for many essential minerals and vitamins. And vitamins like mainly A, D, E, K and B12, as well as minerals like iron and copper. Production. Liver is responsible for the production of several vital protein components like blood plasma, in the blood plasma prothrombin, fibrinogen and albumin. Along with the other function, production is the one of the function which produces prothrombin, fibrinogen and albumin. Already you know that prothrombin and fibrinogen are the blood clotting factors. Albumin is an protein. Albumin is an protein which will helpful for maintaining the homeostasis of the body. Next, immunity. Immunity is the one of the function of the liver. Why? Because liver functions as an organ of the immune system through the function of the Kupffer cells. Already we discussed that Kupffer cells are the fixed macrophages which play an important role by capturing and digesting bacteria, fungi, parasites and worn out blood cells and cellular debris. So these are the functions of liver. Okay. See, one thing I have to discuss. Wait a minute. See, what are the functions we discussed? Digestion, metabolism, as well as detoxification, storage, production and immunity. All these are the functions of the liver. Along with the liver, we have a small idea on gallbladder. Actually, gallbladder means where the storage of bile. Frankly, we are saying as a storage of bile. Why? Because bile is concentrated by the removal of water that will be stored in the gallbladder. Location. The gallbladder is a small, thin-walled green sac that snuggles in a shallow fossa in the inferior surface of the liver. Already I show you in the diagram that green color bag-like structure, or sac-like, small sac-like structure that will be present in the under the liver. That is a small one. That's actually cystic duct. When food digestion is not occurring, bile backups up the cystic duct and enters the gallbladder to be stored. Nothing but during normal conditions without food, the whatever bile will be there, that bile will be reached to the gallbladder and it will be stored for the further purpose. Okay, thank you for listening.